Hogwarts Legacy, the 17th video game surrounding the Harry Potter franchise, has been slated for release later this year, but we have some big news regarding the release of the game which you won't want to miss. This game will be available on PlayStation 4 and 5, as well as Xbox One and Xbox Series XS. Today, we are discussing some updated release news for Hogwarts Legacy, plus other game news, so don't go anywhere. Let's jump straight in. What's this big news regarding the game's release? Buckle up guys, it's a big one. Originally slated for release in 2021, which obviously didn't happen, it was assumed Hogwarts Legacy would be with us sometime later this year after WB Games had refused to provide an official release date. Due to the developer's silence, it was thought that the game would not appear until much later in the year, but it is now thought that not only is the game unlikely to be delayed, but the release date is much closer than we actually thought. A leaked memo claims that Sumo Digital has really helped with development, and we can expect to see the game sooner rather than later. Because we've seen and heard next to nothing in relation to the game, it is assumed it will be out later this fall, but we believe it will be with us sooner, much sooner, like this spring or summer at the latest. A famed leaker account known as AccountNGT, who has leaked other game releases such as Star Wars Enterprises and GTA, is behind this rumor, and they obviously have some sort of insider knowledge, so we think this rumor might carry more weight than the others we have so far seen online. This will be the first game in the Harry Potter series in 9 years, and fans are super excited about this one. Will you be ordering Hogwarts Legacy once it's finally available? Let us know down below. So, what exactly is the game all about? Stay tuned to find out. As we have mentioned, the game is available across multiple platforms and features an immersive open-world experience for the player. The role-playing game is set in the familiar world we all know and love, and the official synopsis for the game reads, "Now you can take control of the action and be at the center of your own adventure in the wizarding world. Embark on a journey through familiar and new locations as you explore and discover fantastic beasts, customize your character and craft potions, master spellcasting, upgrade talents, and become the wizard you want to be, experiencing Hogwarts in the 1800s. The synopsis then goes on to explain how we'll play as a student of Hogwarts who holds the key to an ancient secret that threatens to tear the wizarding world apart. Whilst you have received a late acceptance to the magic school, you will find out sooner rather than later that you're a little different from your fellow students and possess the ability to perceive and master ancient magic. You will need to decide how you will use your powers, and it seems as though you will have the option to use it for good as well as bad. You will also be able to decide who you make allegiances with and will ultimately decide the fate of the wizard world. How will you be using your powers? Let us know below. Next, let's look at the controversy surrounding the game. Whilst the game has experienced delays like everything else due to the COVID pandemic, there has also been a bit of backlash regarding the views of author J.K. Rowling, who allegedly aired transphobic and hateful views. I mean, I suppose if you support lesbians who don't want to date trans women who still have their male genitalia, that somehow qualifies you as transphobic. Well done, Twitter. Obviously, the creative brains behind the franchise are too scared of being cancelled by the militant faction of the far left and have distanced themselves from Rowling. And even though she has some valid points, they don't want to hear it. But I suppose when you're involved in an obvious game of virtue signaling, it doesn't matter who you throw under the bus, as long as someone is being made to look hateful. The game also has to take on other releases this year, including Gotham Knights, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. This, and rumors that Warner Brothers want the game to come out to coincide with release of Fantastic Beasts: The Secret of Dumbledore, means we are curious to see when the game will finally be released. What do you guys make of this? Let us know below. We're discussing a PS5 leak next. Stay tuned. A recent leaked memo has fans of the classic PS2 super excited. The console was an absolute game changer, and it sits fondly in the memory of gamers of a certain generation, spawning some classic games. Obviously, in 2022, these games will now look outdated. But what about if they were rebooted to fit the PS5? Well, that's exactly what's happening with the old PS2 game, Blood Rain, the vampire slasher which first appeared 20 years ago. Yes, 20. Wasn't exactly a hit with gamers, but it did spawn a full series of games, complete with movies and comics. Due to the relative anonymity of the game, it is odd that they chose to remake this one for the PS5. The organization tasked with rating games for release in North America, the ESRB, has confirmed it will be re-released for the PS5 by recently rating the game. They didn't say when it would be available, but we can expect some news to start filtering through soon enough, as the ESRB only usually rate games that are more or less ready to go. We should still be on guard though. There has so far been no official word, so there's still a slight chance we might not end up seeing the game, but you can count on this one as more than likely to happen in 2022. Will you be buying the Blood Rain game if and when it drops? News from Riot Games now. Stay with us. It was recently announced that Riot Games, in a bid to get workers on board who agree and are on board with their current vision, have offered all those who don't 25% of their annual salary to quit. Employees who take the firm up on their offer will also receive 3 months worth of health benefits, as well as any bonuses they might be eligible for within the time period. Seems like a pretty solid deal, right? CEO Nicola Laurent gave us a little bit more detail on his train of thought by explaining, "We're trying to grow the business. We just want to make sure we have the right team of people who are highly motivated. It appears the head honcho only wants people on board who buy into Riot's long-term plan, which has come across a little confusing recently, if the company's statements are anything to go by. One blog post said, our games will work together to continue listening to players. Bit weird, Niccolo. As part of the new direction, Riot will require workers to return to the office for 60% of the working week, as well as opening new studios and giving employees equity in the company somehow. The CEO believes that being in the office is significantly better for creative work that requires a lot of diverse skill sets and collaboration, and there's probably some truth in this. What do you guys make of Riot's new approach? Would you like to work for them? Let us know your thoughts below. And finally, some news from Xbox boss Phil Spencer. An idea which would require the gaming world's biggest companies to come together, Phil Spencer has recently revealed that he would like to live in a world where banned means banned from all platforms. This would be in a big move, and the Xbox head has acknowledged how much work would have to go into the project, which would spell disaster for those who take delight in cheating and spoiling the fun of other games. Spencer said, "Something I would love for us to be able to do, this is a hard one as an industry, is when somebody gets banned in one of our networks, is there a way for us to ban them across other networks? We're sure that legitimate players who stick to the rules would all be on board with this idea." And Spencer has revealed his plan includes a way for players to transport their banned users list with them across all platforms. The Xbox head also went on to reveal how the company uses AI to monitor people's conversations, which could be seen as creepy at best, or a massive invasion of privacy at worst. Xbox offers a report a user button, which we think is possibly enough without actually listening into people's private conversations. We like the idea of banning people across all platforms, as there is nothing worse than a cheat, and if someone gets banned from one platform, they can easily just switch to another. What do you guys make of Spencer's idea? As always, thanks for tuning in today, guys, and remember to tune in next time for some more revelations. Why not do us a solid and share this video with any gamers you know of? Bye, guys!